Hello everyone, welcome back to online class. I'm APS-CLASS-VI-SCIENCE-CH-3-FIBRE, a science teacher from Upper Public School, Kalaburagi. So children, today I'm here with the continuation of the same chapter, that is fiber to fabric. So before we start this class, let us discuss like what we have learned in the previous class. Okay children, so in the previous class we have discussed about, yes, what we have discussed? We have discussed about natural fiber and synthetic fiber, isn't it? So in the previous class we have discussed about natural fiber and synthetic fiber. So what do you mean by natural fiber? Yes, the fibers that are obtained from natural sources are called natural fibers. Okay, so the fibers which are obtained from natural sources, and the examples are for natural fiber, yes, cotton, jute, wool, silk. Okay, and next, what about synthetic fiber? So these synthetic fibers are man-made fibers. Okay, so these fibers are made in the laboratories by using chemicals. So here natural fibers are like which are obtained from natural sources, and synthetic fibers are like man-made fibers. They are made in the laboratories by using chemicals. And the examples for synthetic fibers are nylon, polyester, rayon, acrylic. Okay, so this is our natural fiber and synthetic fiber. So even we have discussed about that natural fibers are again divided into two types, that is plant fiber and animal fiber. Okay, so here plant fiber, the fiber which is obtained from plants are called plant fibers. And what about animal fiber? So the fiber which is obtained from animals are called animal fiber. Okay, and the example for plant fibers, yes children, cotton, jute, isn't it? And what about animal fiber? Wool, silk. Okay, and even we have discussed like how cotton fiber is obtained from cotton plants, and how jute fiber is obtained from jute plants, and how wool is obtained from, like where we get wool children? Obviously from the fleece of goat or sheep. And even we have discussed about silk. Okay, so now just we will quickly revise. Okay, cotton. So cotton fibers are obtained from the cotton plants, isn't it? So what is the process? During flowering stage, what happens? The cotton plants will produce flowers of yellowish white color. Okay, so after a few days, what happens? Yellowish white flowers will changes its color to reddish pink. Okay, and again after a few days, what happens? These flowers will convert into fruit, that is green cotton ball. Okay, so again after maturity, what happens? The green cotton ball will burst open. So when it bursts open, what we see inside the cotton ball? Exactly, we see a white, fluffy, soft cotton with seeds inside it. Okay, so now we obtain cotton fiber from cotton. So now the cotton which is obtained from cotton plant, can we use directly that cotton? No, because seeds will be there inside the cotton. So now those seeds should be removed, or it should be extracted from the cotton. So that process is called ginning. So here the process of separating seeds from the cotton is called ginning. Okay, so this is all about like cotton, how we obtain cotton. So next, jute. So jute is obtained from, like jute fiber is obtained from jute plant, isn't it? So these jute plants are cultivated during which season? Rainy season. And again during flowering stage, these jute plants are harvested. Okay, and the harvested plants, what they'll do? The harvested stems, they'll immerse in the water for few days. So after that, what happens? The stems which are immersed in water will rot, and then the fibers are separated from the stem. So like this, we obtain jute fiber from jute plant. Okay, and next, wool. As I said, like wool is obtained from the fleece of goat or sheep, and even it is obtained from the hair of rabbits, camels, yak, and so on. Okay, and when do we wear these types of clothes, children? Yes, exactly in winter season. So these type of clothes keeps our body warm. Woolen clothes keeps our body warm, so that we wear woolen clothes in winter. Okay, and next, silk. So as I said, like silk is drawn from the cocoon of silkworm. Okay, even I have shown you the cocoons also. Okay, so from those cocoons, silk fiber is obtained. Okay, so this is all about natural fiber and synthetic fiber. So now let us see the difference between the natural fiber and the synthetic fiber. Okay. We know what do you mean by like natural fiber and synthetic fiber, but we don't know the difference between them. Na? So just we will discuss the difference between natural fiber and synthetic fiber. Difference between natural fiber and synthetic fiber. Okay, so let us discuss the difference between these two fibers. Natural fiber synthetic fiber. Okay, so here, so natural fiber, the fiber, as I said, like from where do we get this natural fiber? Yes, the fiber of some fabrics, the fiber of some fabrics are obtained, yes, are obtained from, yes, plants and animals. Okay, so here the fiber of some fabrics are obtained from plants and animals. So what about synthetic fiber? Yes, here the fiber are obtained from chemical substances. Chemical substances. So here these fibers are not obtained from, yes. So here, as we discussed, like the fibers of some fabrics are obtained from plants and animals, but in the synthetic fiber, the fiber are obtained from chemical substances, and these fibers are not obtained from plants and animals. Plants and animals. Okay. So the first difference is like here, the fiber of some fabrics are obtained from plants and animals, and here the fiber are obtained from chemical substances, and these fibers are not obtained from plants and animals. Okay. And the examples: cotton you can write, wool also you can write. Here cotton we obtain from plants and wool we obtain from animals. And here so these two are obtained from chemical substances. By combining the chemical substances, these synthetic fibers are made. Okay, got the difference between the natural fiber and synthetic fiber. So one more, like few more are there. So the second one, okay, it takes more time to dry up. Okay, and here it takes less time to dry up. Okay, so here natural fiber means, as I said, like cotton, wool. Okay, so these are the examples of natural fibers. So these type of fibers like fabrics takes more time to dry up, whereas synthetic fibers, they take less time to dry up. So this is the difference between the natural fiber and the synthetic fiber. So here, which fiber takes more time? Natural fiber takes more time to dry up, whereas synthetic fiber takes less time to dry up. Okay, so you might have observed, like when your mother will wash your clothes and she'll hang outside, no? So just you observe which type of clothes will dry up like easily or fast. So synthetic fibers will dry up fast and easily, and natural fiber, it takes time to dry up. Okay, and next one, so next one is it will not catch fire. Okay, so here it will not catch fire easily. Okay, so natural fibers will not catch fire. But what about synthetic fibers? So here it will catch fire, as we know that synthetic fibers are made from chemicals, isn't it? So that it will catch fire easily, isn't it? So here natural fibers, it will not catch fire easily, But synthetic fibers, as they are made up of chemicals, so they catch fire easily. Okay, and next one is it absorbs sweat. Okay, and here it will not absorb sweat. Okay, you can see the difference by wearing natural fiber clothes and synthetic fiber clothes. You can see the differences better. Okay, like see, natural fibers, as I said, like they will absorb sweat, and here synthetic fibers, they will not absorb sweat. Okay, so this is the difference between natural fiber and synthetic fiber. And one more is that natural fibers are more expensive. Okay, so here natural fibers are more expensive, whereas synthetic fibers are very cheap. Okay, so here compared to synthetic fibers, natural fibers are expensive, and these synthetic fibers are, like, we get very cheap. Okay, so these are the differences between natural fiber and synthetic fiber. Okay, so it will not catch fire easily and it will catch fire easily. This is the most important point. Okay, children. So, like in kitchen, we should not wear synthetic clothes because it will catch fire. So, we should avoid wearing synthetic clothes in kitchen. Okay. So, even though these are expensive, we prefer to wear cotton clothes or like natural fiber clothes, isn't it? Okay, so this is all about natural fibers and synthetic fibers. So now, so children, as I said, like we already come to know that like several strands of fibers are twisted together to make yarns, isn't it? So the fibers which are obtained from plants or animals or even from chemicals, how they are converted into yarn? Do you have any idea? Yes, children? How fibers are, we know that several thin strands are twisted together to make yarn. Okay, so what is the process? What we call for that? Yes, children? The answer is spinning. Okay, what is the answer? The answer is spinning. So here the process of making yarn from fibers is known as spinning. So we know like several thin strands of fibers are twisted together to make yarn. But actually what the process takes place there? Yes, the process is spinning. So here spinning means the process of making yarn from fibers is known as spinning. Okay, so the process of making yarn from fibers is known as spinning. Okay, so in this process what happens, children? The fibers, like these fibers are drawn from the cotton and they are twisted together to make yarn, isn't it? So in this process what happens? Fibers from a mass of cotton wool are drawn out and twisted. So like that, fibers are converted into yarn. Okay, so here spinning can be done manually with charka. Okay, so here spinning can be done manually with charka or tatli. Okay, so spinning can be done manually on like with charka or tatli on smaller scale. Okay, so apart from these, even machines are also there to convert the fibers to yarn on larger scale. Okay, so here spinning means the process of making yarn from fibers is known as spinning. So spinning can be done manually with charaka or tatli on smaller scale, whereas machines are also used on larger scale. Okay, so this is how fibers are converted into yarn. Okay, so now these yarn, whatever we have obtained from these fibers, so these yarn are again converted into, yes, fabrics. Okay, so again there are two processes. Which are those? Let us see. So children, here are two processes, as I said, from which yarns are converted into fabrics, and the two processes are like weaving and knitting. Okay, so these are the two processes where the yarns are converting into fabrics. Okay, so now what do you mean by weaving? Yes, so here weaving means the process of arranging two sets of yarn together to make a fabric. Okay, so what do you mean by weaving here? The process of arranging two sets of yarn together to make a fabric. I'll show you, children. So as you all can see, okay, so here this is weaving, like how we arrange two sets of yarn. So you can see here two colors, isn't it? So like this only, here the process of arranging. So here also we have arranged two sets of papers. Okay, one is green color and one is pink color. So same like that, the process of arranging two sets of yarn together to make a fabric. So by arranging two sets of yarn together, a piece of fabric is made. By which process? By weaving. Okay, so here weaving means the process of arranging two sets of yarn together to make a fabric. Okay, so this is how weaving can be done by using two sets of paper. Here two sets of yarn. Okay, so they are arranged together to make a piece of fabric. So this weaving can be done on looms. Yes, children, weaving can be done on looms. So the looms, either they may be a hand operator or even power operator. On smaller scale by hand, but on large scale again power operator can be used. Okay, so this is all about weaving. So next comes, yes children, which process? Knitting. Okay, so here in knitting, a single yarn is used to make a piece of fabric. Okay, so here knitting means what? In knitting, a single yarn is used to make a piece of fabric, whereas in weaving, two sets of yarn are used together to make a fabric. Got the difference between here weaving and knitting? So in weaving, we use two sets of yarn. Yes, children? In weaving, we are going to use two sets of yarn together to make a piece of fabric, whereas in knitting, a single yarn is used to make a piece of fabric. So for this, you all have might been observed sweaters or socks. Okay, so just you drag one yarn from that cloth, so it goes on coming out, isn't it? Because they are made by the process of knitting. By using a single yarn they are made, so that when we try to drag the yarn, it goes on coming. Okay, so this is all about knitting and weaving. So now once again we will discuss by diagram. Okay, so children, as I said, like so what is that? Yes, fibers. So fibers are converted into, yes children, fibers are converted into yarn. Okay, fibers are converted into yarn. By which process? By spinning. Okay, and now yarn are again converted into fabrics. By which process? Weaving, knitting, isn't it? So here fibers are converted into yarn by the process spinning, and again yarn are converted into fabrics by the process weaving and knitting. And now the fabrics which we get are further converted to clothes by stitching, isn't it? So once again I will repeat children. So the fibers which are obtained, like either it might be a natural fiber or synthetic fiber. Either we get from plants or animals or from chemicals. So the fibers which we obtain either from plants or animals or chemicals. So those fibers are converted into yarn by the process of, yes, by the process spinning. And again these yarn are converted into fabrics by the process. So here comes two processes. One is weaving and one is knitting. And the fabrics which we got are later on converted to clothes by stitching. Okay. So this is all about natural fiber and synthetic fiber, like how fibers are converted to fabrics. Okay. So in the next class, we will discuss a short like history of clothing material, and after that we will discuss the question exercise part of this chapter. Okay children, hope you all understood this chapter. So we will meet in the next class. So until then, have a good day. Thank you.